Hey everybody, Brian here from the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast, the wrong podcast and I got another episode of Let's Get Physical. And on this episode, I'm looking to piss off my co-host Rod by covering one of my favorite films, Student Bodies. Rod seems to hate this film for some reason. He thinks that it's not one of the earliest horror spoof comedies. I want you to watch this movie about Jesus fighting vampires with karate. I don't know, but I'm going to talk about Student Bodies, which I have on both Blu-ray and vinyl. And this is actually from the vinyl. This is an insert on the vinyl, on the record. It's kind of a beautiful, I should frame this up. That's the front. That's the back. Gives you the liner notes and who, made the music. Student Bodies from the motion picture, composed by Gene Hobson, performed by Pamela Smith, recorded, here's the important thing, by Alan Howarth, mixed by Alan Howarth. And I actually got a really cool story from Alan at Flashback in Chicago last year. He was there. He's, of course, the one that's done a lot of music for Halloween. He did Halloween 1, 2, and 3, I believe. He helped John Carpenter do those scores. He's done Back to the Future, a ton of stuff. I was sitting there and someone asked Alan about, or actually I asked him because I took the record. He'd never seen the record. There's his autograph there. He'd never seen the record before. And he said, I did music on that? And I said, your name's on the freaking card. And it's a black record. It's a beautiful black record there. Not much to see record-wise, no color or anything. But I said, your name is listed on the internet, on this card, several places that you worked on this. And he kind of thought for a minute and he said, you know what? I did work on that. I had the money and the equipment thanks to my work on Halloween, which John brought me in. And I didn't have the equipment. John had the equipment. So I worked on Halloween. And then I made enough money working on the Halloween films to buy my own equipment. And Gene reached out to me and asked if I wanted to work on this movie with him. So I went over, or I called Gene, and he came over. And I said, well, I have the equipment here. Why don't we just use that? So he mixed it. He worked on it. And that's how he got his part on it. And I think Gene even asked him, do you want a part of this? And he said, no, this is your movie. This is your soundtrack. You take it. So Alan was a super nice guy, took his time, talked to the person in front of me for 10, 15 minutes, talked to me for maybe 20 minutes. Just a great guy. So if you love music, you love composers and people that do music, go meet Alan Howarth if he's at a convention near you. One of the other things, this is actually really cool. This is the digital download. It's on the back of this sticker that says, sex kills, and sex does kill. So the record you can buy online. I'm not sure who even did the record. It just says, from the motion picture. Oh, here you go. Forever Midnight. It says it's from an exclusive license from Ever Midnight. Then, from 88 Films, which is a British company, English company, British company, I have Body Brilliant. And this is an insert that's in the Blu-ray. Talks about the film. Student Bodies. And it is part of their Slasher Collection, Classics Collection. It's number 40. It's from 1981. If you don't know Student Bodies, well, I don't know what the hell you're doing here. Go watch the damn thing. Again, it's from 1981. It's an American parody comedy slasher movie. Written and directed by Mickey Rose. Spoofer slash, it was the time of Halloween, Friday the 13th, prom night. It was the first to satire the thrilling or thriving slasher film genre. They put the body count on the film. Every time, somebody dies, they put it up there. It depicts a breather, a serial killer who stalks and preys on high school students Eventually, the majority of film's events are addicted, that. It's all supposedly a dream, a sexual dream. But then the patient's boyfriend ends up being the killer. Yeah. So I think it's a dream, but I'm not sure. I need to watch it again. It's been a while since I watched it. I think it's a dream, but it's not a dream, but then maybe it is a dream. And the movie has no sex, no nudity, no graphic violence, or even foul language until like 25, 26 minutes in, when the action is interrupted by a man sitting at the desk. It's kind of like that old Rocky Horror Picture Show. And he says, the film has to have, full frontal nudity for an R rating, graphic violence, explicit reference to a sex act. And so they want it to have a R rating. So I think he says, fuck you, or something like that. And then it's, it goes to the MPAA, appears for a few seconds and says, it's a rated R movie. And then it goes back to the movie. You can pick up Student Bodies for 15 pounds. You can probably buy it on Amazon here in the United States. You can get the soundtrack for $20. The soundtrack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 different things on it. If you know the movie, you hope that it has the breather on it. I've not put the soundtrack on yet. I got it last year, and I put it back in the sleeve and packaged it all up and haven't listened to it. So I really need to listen to it if I ever get time. And I stopped doing these Let's Get Physicals, but I just enjoy showing off the stuff in my collection that you can own or that you can go try and thrift so that you can have it too. And of course, 88 Films, the slasher collection, comes in a red disc. Not a red disc, in a red case. There's the disc. That's pretty. You see that? And it's got the double-sided. There's one side. The other side. At last, the world's first comedy horror film is that. I just love this film. It's one of those that I watched a lot growing up. I don't remember if it was on HBO or we found it and rented it all the time. It's just a stupid movie. If you know this film, it's just dumb fun. There's nothing really scary about it. You'll find yourself answering the phone like the breather, or there's a tall, lanky, or super lanky, goofy looking janitor, Melvin, who grabs keys and cheese. And there's a shop teacher that talks about horse head bookends, and that's all he makes. The serial killer, or the killer, breathes through a rubber chicken when he calls people. It's just a fun film. I think everybody, if you love horror, but if you love comedy even, go check out Student Bodies. Pick up a copy from 88 Films. Pick up a copy of the soundtrack if you love vinyl. And I'll be back next time for more Let's Get Physical. Have a good day.
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.